Welcome to the 6th episode of Media Literacy Lecture Series. Today we are going to discuss about one important dimension of media interaction. The digital technology have enabled the common users to participate in a more meaningful manner. So that's a topic we are going to examine, the participation in the media system. The wide variety of spectrum is available. You might have exposed to various media outlets, and you might have enjoyed or silently watched many components. If you take the media participation as a spectrum, we can find two extremes: a silent observer, an active participator, a co-creator. So that's, you can find a lot of in variety in between midpoints of characteristics between a silent observer to a co-creator. So that's a variety of participations the media system provides in the contemporary scenario, particularly in a digital environment. So in this episode, we are going to have 5 important key takeaways as part of the participation in the media system. We are going to discuss about approaches of media participation and functions of participation in the media, and let us understand the Jenkins participatory culture of media. Then we will take about forms of participation. At the end, we will discuss about the major challenges of participation. So this is our outline of the episode, and let us examine the approaches to participation. As I said in the beginning, if you take a participation as a spectrum, you can see the variety of characteristics. Being silently watching the media content, or actively creating video content for a streaming platform. So there are a variety of approaches to participation. Let us look at the first approach as active participation. As the slide indicates, that it involves a direct engagement of user with the media platform. And it enables in this kind of active participation, the normally a common media user provides content, provides opinion, creates dialogue, and experiment with a lot of creative expressions. And not only that, it gives certain sort of confidence in get involved in the civic issues. It's not, as a common user, we never do for sake of individual benefits. We are putting everything in a public platform. Many people might be liking it. Many people may be giving critical comments about that. A kind of a community sense might create based on the content provided by the user. The active participation doesn't go in a silent manner, are always reciprocated with the comments, reactions. It's become a cyclic process. So another set of active users and the original creator goes on the dialogue mode on different topics. In that way, a kind of sense of community builds in this process. It gives a lot of visibility for the common person. It's not just watching the content, but he is creating content. And nature of the content depends upon the depth of the content. It might attract attention or might be completely become silent, not noticed. That many things happen. This is a very higher level of participation, we can say that. Another extreme is passive participation. Here, the large number of media users usually comes under this category. Commonly, we may not have a opportunity, or we may have opinion, we may not have a platform or hesitations. There are very wide variety of reasons for being a passive. And end of the process, the passive participant always consumes the content silently. Continuously consuming the content, but it's a very low engagement and it's a very casual approach. And without giving any feedback, the contributor gives a views. For example, it adds to the video number of people watching the video content, or it might give another indication that without participating, without giving feedback, lot of information can be gathered by the platform. That also makes sometimes the material can become viral, not necessarily based on the comments, based on the number of views. That way the passive audience are contributing that. And might be they start with the passive, the common user. Slowly, once they become familiar with the platform, they may become active user later stage. Or might be active user become passive, passive become active, but largely before internet and the platform, media platform always encourages the passive participation before internet, before digital platform, newspaper reading or television, watching television series or listening to the radio. Mostly will consume the content, and we had a limited opportunity to interact with the media platform. But with the recent developments in the online technology, and that enables active participation, even then large sections chosen to be a passive consumer, passive user. Next level is lurking. This is a kind of new category where the user are quite invisible and roams around the area in which he is familiar, websites, social media, blogging, YouTube, and variety of content. They'll roam around without spending much time, without contributing anything, without giving any feedback. And usually this is the a new set of users comes to the online or digital or media platform. They'll try to experiment, understand the environment. But they tend to follow all the rules and regulations of the particular ecosystem, and they'll carry a lot of information. They'll try to understand that. So they might move towards active participation later stage or the passive level, whatever level they want to do that. But lurking, basically, the user takes this kind of role when they newly entering into the platform. So this is one kind of participation approach. Another one is a collaborative participation. This is very unique with the online platform. You might have heard about Wikipedia. This is one of the classic example. A group of people, they gather, not necessarily in a physical location, not necessarily in a particular time, but they coexist in a platform and they'll create a content. They'll modify the content. They improvise the content. It's a collaboration. There are many examples are happening. Open source softwares, community-based software developments, content creations. Many experiments are happening because of a small team can come together for a particular purpose, and they'll share their resources, time, energy, knowledge, expertise, and they aim to produce an output. So that is another set of participation. Here, not consuming the content, but they'll try to create something new in a collaborative mode. So this is one part of the approach. Another one, the last one of this our discussion, is critical participation. This is what the media literacy advocates that. The common user, whenever they encounter with the media content, they have to be more critical in terms of analyzing, consuming content. They have to question, they have to interpret the content, media messages very critically. And one of the early episodes, we had a complete discussion about interpreting media content. So watch that. You might get to different understanding about critical participation in-depth level. And it promotes a kind of critical skill set, critical competency to identify misinformation, disinformation, false news or fake content, and that protects the scope for them to avoid any harmful content. And it's always the critical approach level. The media users always challenges the dominant narratives. They provide the counterpoints, and it's always they'll try to follow some ethical guidelines in order to consume or participate in the media development. And particularly, that's what the media literacy also advocates, that the end result of media literacy is the very productive democratic setup. The critical approach, critical participation approach also aims to do that, because it provides scope for engagement, direct engagement, critical engagement, and those kind of users doesn't accept whatever is being given to them. It improves their ability, and when they start questioning that, the situation might change accordingly. That not necessarily one people, and many people start critically engaged with the media content, media narrative gets changed. So this is very important and required also from the media literacy perspective. So this is the different approaches we have seen, that active, passive, lurking, and collaborative approach and critical approach of participation. Let's look at the functions of online or media participatory system. And being active, being a passive or collaborative or critical, that's okay. But at the end of the day, whatever approach we take with the media system, what kind of output is coming? What functionality is provides to our day-to-day life? One is when we become active, we decided to participate in whatever capacity, whatever mode. Could be hybrid mode, or could be combination of different approaches. And when we started engaging with the media content in a close manner, we start encountering a similar kind of interest, similar set of people, or opposing level. So a sense of community evolves over the period of time. So that's one of the output of participation with the media system, active participation, more active and better the community setup, bigger the setup, larger the numbers. So that is one of the highest level of output functionality of participatory media system, fostering community and social connections. This is very crucial, and it encourages a collaboration and creative expression, knowledge sharing. Many examples you can find in the participatory level, and provides a lot of benefit, and knowledge sharing. The Wikipedia is one of the example I quoted earlier. The system, the Wikipedia platform, almost equal to the established encyclopedia available in the market. And it's not a one or two people, not 10, 20 experts are producing the content. A common set of people, and voluntarily they are providing, modifying, improvising the content. So this is one example. And another benefit of functionality of participatory media is it facilitates learning and skill development. And knowingly, unknowingly, entertainment may be a dominant way of media content consumption, but educational resources are plenty in terms of accessing information, and system provides a lot of scope to access wide variety of content, and it promotes self-directed learning, informal learning, and various formats of learning, not necessarily lecture based. It could be audio video content or gaming or interactive mode. Wide variety of options are available to learn specific content. Could be academically oriented, or it may be applicable to routine life-based activities, lifelong learning, continuous learning. All this facilitates through the participatory platform. Entertainment is okay, that through that we are enjoying the time, we kill the time, but extensively through information we tend to gather a lot of opinion and knowledge, and critically if you settle with those information, our understanding about the world and understanding about other factors gets enlarged. So this is another functionality of participatory media. And in legacy media, in the mainstream media, were confined to the professionals, institutional framework, and certain things are allowed, certain things are not, gatekeeping, and a lot of investment is required, because the creative expression also, when the mainstream media want to experiment with the mainstream media, a lot of layers of approval is required, and maybe the system might accept your talent or may not. There's no guarantee on that. Whereas if you are being a part of the participatory system, there is plenty of avenues, plenty of platforms to express your creative ideas. This is one of the output, one of the functions of participatory system is it enables a creative expression and innovation. It empowers individuals to produce compelling story narratives, and it could be in any platform, audio, you could be in any media platform, and not necessarily that you have to create your own content. There is a new concept called remixing. Content is available, and then you can add your own perspective and producing new content. For example, a news clipping can be converted into memes. You are giving your satirical viewpoint and put it in a social media platform. Many people might be liking it. Remixing with your idea of original content and providing new understanding. So this is a new form of expression, that. And experimentation, innovation, this is a remixing is kind of example for that. And it makes the user become more visible, whether you are with the original content or going with a remixing or simply sharing the publicly available content. Whatever way you want to engage with the media, that's up to your choice. So that is one of the functionality of participatory media. The next one is about it's a promote civic engagement and activism. Like approaches, we said the critical participation is very important from the media literacy perspective. Civic engagement and activism also very crucial. Whether you are learning or you are creating content to express your creative ideas, or you are creating or being part of the community, that's okay, individual benefits. But likelihood that many interested people, they come together, they might go beyond their personal limits. They might be carrying and thinking about certain ideas, spaces, subjects, topics, and institutions outside their personal world. So in that way, they started thinking about the community, they're thinking about a society, thinking about a regional level, national level issues, or global issues, or humanities, everything there. So those kind of like-minded people, they tend to engage themselves on civic affairs. And once, of course, we'll find plenty of positive, negative aspect of common life. They started having a dialogue about to bring out the change. That's how the activism starts. The civic engagement and activism, it's what expected from the critical approach. Both are part of outcome of media literacy. Being active, critically engaged with the media, at the same time contribute to the civic life, contribute to the community, and contribute to the betterment of public life system. So this is what expected from the media literacy campaign. So this is one of the functionality of participation. It brings the people, it mobilizes a lot of resources, thinking, strategizing, scheduling, and resource mobilization, and mobilizing the people opinion on various civic and public issues. And they can carry out this discussion in various format. Could be in a journalistic outcome, it could be in a creative outcome, or it could be democratic offline demonstration. So anything can be worked out based on the collaborative planning for the betterment of the civic life. Another opportunity of participatory media is not in the collective format, might be in individual level. There are plenty of individuals or group of individuals. They are experimenting with the participatory system for monetary benefits, economic benefits. Large number of social media platform works in a global context, and largely they are free in terms of providing the content, and they never charge. Some my platform might be charging, but largely there's a lot of scope for free participation, creating content, sharing the content, everything, because they companies, corporate groups, those who are owning the social media, are making a lot of profit. Our data, the user generated content, creates a scope for large level of revenue generation, and companies tend to share the revenue with the content creators, and through that, this is the one functionality we can see the entrepreneurial benefit of participatory media. Streaming the video content, writing a blog, and providing reels and short films, and it attracts attention based on the page views, reach, nature of the content, and kind of audience engaged with the content, and you can earn a lot of money out of that media participation. This is one of the functionality. So we have seen the approaches and the functionality, and these all comes under the participatory platform. And one of the very prominent media scholar, Henry Jenkins, theorized the whole process of participatory. He came up with one idea of participatory culture. So his theoretical framework was challenging the legacy media's audience system. The passive audience is the main characteristics of mainstream media, newspaper, radio and all. He challenged that. When the media system operates with a technological platform, it provides a lot of scope for active participation. So in a participatory culture, he says users move beyond the passive viewing to engage actively with the media. And for example, he's quoting that through the participation, people can create their own content, that's we discussed, and remixing, reinterpreting existing media text, and sharing and circulating content in their own social networks, and engaging in discussion, debates around the media content. These are all the characteristics of active user under the participatory culture. That's what theoretically he was explaining about that. And it has its own connotations in terms of creativity and collective intelligence, and it might create a meaningful fan communities, and it's provided a lot of benefit to the society in terms of open source collaboration. For example, operating system, Linux operating system, various alternate software solutions came out there, and many people collaborated for problem solving there, and it also created a new meme culture. So there are various ways in which the creativity is being experimented, and that gave a good benefit to the society. So this is all he theorized based on the participatory culture. And his idea is the creativity not necessarily individualistic in nature. It could be networked. Creative ideas pulled together could be leads to a better outcome, better solution, better product. And his idea of participatory cultures coincide with another term proposed by Axel Bruns, producer. It's a hybrid of producer and user. This model, users generate content for platforms, and simultaneously they'll consume the content and co-create different content. And here the boundary between the consumer, audience and creator become narrowing down, and it might many times it gets merged on that. One drawback also there, here the no filtration is happening, no gatekeeping is happening, and that is one of the reasons why this misinformation and disinformation become rampant in social media part. And media literacy, the campaign media literacy aims also leads to having a responsible digital citizenship. When you take a more active role in a platform, you have to be more responsible in terms of your interest, and you have to take care about the interest of the people who are already active in the same platform. And another important idea he proposed as part of the participatory culture is there is a media power dynamics, and participatory culture challenges the gatekeeping power of traditional media institutions. And traditional media follows very strict norm, strict gatekeeping formula. And certain things are allowed, certain things are not allowed. They go with certain rules, codes and conventions, sometimes legal, sometimes a self-regulatory manner. But in the online platform, participatory level, and here the power is most lies with individuals. The flow of information is no longer unidirectional, and users are influence over the content is more visible on that. And audience can take multiple roles with the participatory content, and many practices leads to monetary benefit. So this is another term is being used, platform capitalism. That is the one of the idea proposed by the participatory culture on that. So as we discussed earlier also, educational civic potential is huge when you deal with the participatory content. It encourages the youth expression, and it promotes media literacy, particularly in digital and collaborative context. Particularly digital media literacy is more required in negotiating with the platform because it's technologically advanced and requires certain skills and competencies, and it might the collaboration leads to online activism, petitions, and the citizen journalism. All this part of participatory culture theoretical formula proposed by Jenkins. But when we're talking about various participatory level, and we have discussed about the approaches and functionality and theoretical aspect of that, but it has its own merits and demerits. And it's not a rosy picture that everybody is having a platform, facilities, knowledge, skills and competencies, not guaranteed for everyone. There's a sense of inequality, digital inequality exists, and it's not a technical problem, it's a social problem, digital inequality. And in the participatory culture, we can identify three important barriers of participatory media. One is a participation gap. Here we can say that unequal access to digital tools, unequal level of skills, unequal level of network platform availability. So digital tool inequality, unequal access, maybe because of economic reasons, or maybe because of locations. Digital skills and competency required maybe due to educational background, could be related to income. So you can easily connect with the participation gap with the socio-demographic profile of individuals or community or group. And there is a scope that marginalized individuals and groups without technological influence get further isolated. The digital inequality is a social problem, I mentioned that, and further here another issue. Second is a transparency problem. Many online platform works with technological tools, and they may not reveal the actual pattern of those technological tools, particular algorithm and all. And the third is ethical challenge. Here there is no gatekeeping is working, so individuals are playing a major role, and here this public and private space is being merged. So these are some of the challenges of participation. Even otherwise also, the media with the participation strengthen the civic life, strengthen the democratic life. Thanks for watching this episode.
Dr. Shorish Chatterjee from West